Hello and welcome to 2D Talk. I'm Jayse, and today we have a very special guest with us in the form of Alfie Froud. Alfie, do you want to say hi to the people at home?
Hi everyone.
So Alfie is one of our subscribers and is also a thriller horror fanatic, and today we're doing a review for A Quiet Place starring Emily Blunt, Noah Jupe, Millicent Simmons. It also stars, is directed, co-written and executive produced, it's a lot, by John Krasinski, husband of Blunt. Michael Bay also serves as main producer through his company Platinum Dunes. Krasinski and Bay worked together on 2016's 13 Hours, The Secret Soldiers of Benghazi. Now the story follows the Abbott family in the year 2020. The planet is on lockdown following the arrival of extraterrestrial arachnoid creatures who lack eyesight but viciously hunt anything using echolocation. The family must live their lives in complete and utter silence lest they attract the attention of the highly efficient and deadly creatures. So Alfie, what did you think? Let's start with the cast, yeah?
Yeah, well, I was completely blown away by the cast, especially Noah Jupe's performance. It really stood out to me. What I thought was great was showing his determination not just to survive, but actually to live. Like when you see Noah's character playing in a broken down car, you really felt that he's a child being made to grow up too fast because of the situation he's living. And I actually believe it was an Oscar-worthy performance from him.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you there as well. Yeah, I mean, my opinion on the cast is that, yeah, they all did an amazing job, and they actually sold the hell that they live in at all times.
Yeah.
And in particular, I'm going to go with Noah Jupe as well, and Emily Blunt. Now, I'm a lover of Emily Blunt. Anything she does is magic for me, basically. But also the face acting from Noah Jupe was so good. Like the terror that he expressed, it was so compelling. You could just feel it. And I remember him from the movie Wonder with Julia Roberts and Jacob Tremblay and Owen Wilson, yeah. And I knew from then, I was like, you're going to be an absolutely fantastic little actor. And yeah, wow, he's really, really good here. So, I mean, let's move on to Suspense. Okay, right? I mean, bloody hell. Like, it was a lot. It was. And it was, right? And let me tell you a little bit about me and horror/thriller movies. Like, I love them, but my God, if they don't shake me to my core at all times. Like, as soon as a movie of this genre starts, I automatically think in my head, like, oh, okay, is it over yet? That's how I work. Not because I hate it, it's because I'm just scared already. And I'm very prepared with movies like this. And I make sure that I know the runtime so I can pace myself. And when I found out that Chapter 1 was like 2 hours and 15 minutes long, I was like, I don't know if I can be scared for that long. I don't know if I can do it.
It was long.
It was long, and it was a lot of scares, but I got through it, and it was a really good movie. Plus, another thing as well, I also take like a coat or a bag with me, and sometimes just to put over my mouth, just in case I scream. And so there's that as well. But yeah, this movie, yeah, it was tense through and through, and I really, really enjoyed that. What did you think of the suspense that they had in the movie?
Tense. When I came out of the screening, I was speaking to somebody who had worked at my local cinema, and he asked me what I think of the film, and all I straight away said was tense. The tension, it was not like a tension in a horror that's been out recently. Like, for instance, I would say Get Out or It. The tension in this film was totally different.
Yeah.
And also what I liked about it is it was able to hold the tension even after the scares had happened. So it wasn't like it was building you up to the scare, then scare happened and then the tension went. It carried on through the whole film. It was just like one whole piece of tension through the whole film, if you get what I mean.
Yeah, I get exactly what you mean. Yeah, tension is the key word here, from start to finish. And I think the first half of the movie was deliberately slower paced so that it could turn up the fear and the tension to an 11 in the second half, and I really thought that was brilliant. It was almost like it's a heart beating, in terror. It was just a constant rhythmic form of terror, and yeah, I thought that was absolutely amazing. Like the thought of living in such a terrifying situation, not knowing what sounds, obviously, not the loud sounds, but also not knowing what other sounds would attract them. Every time they did a footstep, I was on edge. Every time they put something down or picked something up like really carefully, I was completely clenched.
When I was in my cinema, I could hear people eating popcorn, and every time somebody eat that popcorn, all I could feel is this fear like it was in the film. It was like my feeling of the tension was going along with the film inside it.
Yeah. I agree as well. It was a lot as far as keeping you engaged, and I was constantly engaged. Like there was not a moment that I was just like, oh yeah, what's that noise outside? Anytime I heard a noise from outside, actually, I was thinking, oh, it's the characters on the screen. So I always jumped. But it was absolutely brilliant. So what about the direction? What do you think about the direction of, for John Krasinski?
Well, I think that's where the actual movie shines. It was most obviously needed to be well directed because there was very little spoken dialogue in the film. I thought he did a great job with the use of aerial shots, which particularly at the beginning of the film when a certain scene happens, it's great at giving it a sense of oncoming danger. Also, I thought the use of wide shots was really great at giving a feeling of complete isolation. So when you would see the fields, and you could see the house they were living in, you could see that it was complete isolation. There was just nothing around for miles. You got that feeling that was on their own.
Yeah. And they did that bit, didn't they, where they lit the lights to call to other people, and I thought that was pretty cool as well. And it just showed the isolation of everybody in this world. There's not a lot of people left on the planet, and I mean, this is Krasinski's third movie that he's credited as a director. He's also directed like episodes of The Office USA, but A Quiet Place is his first big wide release, and the work he did here, it was great. From in front of and behind the camera that he managed to do was absolutely amazing, and there were some fabulous close-ups that really helped to heighten the atmosphere as well as the long shots. There were the close-ups on the characters that really brought home the tension and the fear. Again, it's a credit to him and also a credit to his cast that he was working with as well. So yeah.
Totally agree.
Yeah, definitely. What he did is he focused on the strength of his cast performance to put the message of urgency and fear across, rather than using shaky cams and stuff like that. He just used his cast, and I thought that was brilliant. Just before we kind of wrap up this review, is there any other kind of things you want to talk about the movie just before we wrap up?
One thing I'd actually like to add is how happy I was that they use an actual deaf actor instead of just using a general actor who they pretend to be deaf in the film. And also the use of sign language I can see in the film, I can see it going a long way to help break down barriers for people who are hard of hearing and deaf to experience film that probably they not might be able to experience as well.
You're speaking about Millicent Simmons. Yeah, Millicent Simmons. She's actually deaf in real life, and she also is used here as a deaf character, which is it's absolutely brilliant. I would also like to say that this is a great time for horror and thriller movie fans with like It and Get Out and Split. This
totally
genre.
Agree.
Yeah. This genre is like silently, pun intended, it's silently coming up through the ranks and bringing with it like nuance and intelligence about it, and I think that's really good. And this movie received rave reviews at South by Southwest Festival. And another thing to mention is that I saw the film at a cinema where normally the clientele aren't really respectful of, the fact that they've paid to go and see a movie. They still make noise. But this wasn't an option. Everybody was silent. Absolutely silent in the movie. It was a wonder to behold, I tell you. Everybody just shutting up and focusing on the movie.
Same with my screening, you could hear a pin drop. That's how tense everybody was. And even when the scares happened, nobody screamed. It was just the whole screen was silent.
Yeah. And this movie managed to capture and engross you completely. And to see it cast its spell on the audience as well is brilliant. It's great. It's fantastic. So let's conclude, Alfie. Like, what are you thinking about the movie? What kind of scoring are you going to give it out of 5 here?
Well, when I came out to the cinema, I was in two minds of what I thought. Part of me loved it, and the other part of me was expecting something different. But in the end, I think it was a great thing because what they gave me was a really tense, unique experience that I've not had before with a film. So I honestly would give it a solid 5 out of 5.
Yeah? 5 out of 5. Nice. Okay, yes. So, A Quiet Place. I'm going to say that this was one of my most anticipated of 2018. And so far, I'm happy. I'm really happy with the result. I'm 2 for 2 with this and Black Panther. So, I'm going to give A Quiet Place, like you, 5 shushed finger tattoos out of 5. Like, I'm giving it 5 out of 5 as well. It was completely suspenseful, well directed, well acted, and I can see Krasinski fielding offers basically now off the back of this movie as well.
Well, what did you guys think? Have you seen the movie? Did you like it? Did you not?
Were you scared? Were you as scared as I am? Please comment below and let us know. Please like, share, and of course subscribe. And once again, I'd like to thank Alfie for taking part in this review. Alfie, is there anything you want to tell the audience at home about your channel?
Well, first of all, I'd just like to say thank you so much for having me.
Sorry.
Second of all, I do have a channel which I don't have no videos yet, but I have some videos planned within the next 2 weeks to come on to go on my channel. So please check it out.
Yeah, that would be absolutely brilliant. Yeah, as I said, I'll put a link down below, and you guys can check that out once he's got some videos up. But that's it, guys. So take care of yourselves. That's it from 2D Talk. See you later.
Bye.
Bye bye.